Hey guys, it's Skulls and Cubes, and today I have a tutorial for the Yao method on 4x4. So what is Yao? Well, most beginners learn the method reduction when they first learned 4x4, which is just building all your centers, then building up the edges, then solving it like a 3x3. Sometimes at the beginning of the 3x3 stage, people have trouble having a look ahead for the cross. So Yao kind of solves that issue. The first thing we're going to do is build two opposite centers, build 3 cross pieces, then build the rest of the centers, build the last cross piece, finish the edges, then do 3x3 stage. Now that sounds like a lot more steps, but a lot of those steps are very short. The first step of the Yao method you should already know. You have to build 2 opposite centers. So I'm not going to go over too much detail with this because like I said, you should already know it. So I'm just going to build the first 2 centers. Okay, so this is when we start seeing differences. Your first step that you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to build 3 cross edges. So you're gonna have to, if you're a white or yellow cross edge solver, you're gonna have to build a white 3 yellow or white cross edges. So, for example, I'm gonna pair up red white edge just like that and swing it into place. Then I can do this orange and white just by bringing this down with a hedge. Now I can't just put this cross edge in anywhere, obviously, because orange is not next to red on a 3x3 or a solved 4x4, unless you have a weird color scheme. Orange is typically across from red, so I need to make sure I put it across, just like so. So the next thing I can do is build that, and like the other cross edges, it has to go in the correct place. So I know that if yellow is on top and orange is in front of me, green has to be on my left. So I'm just going to put it in like that. This is a step that a lot of people have trouble getting used to, and that is finishing the last 4 centers, but you have to preserve all these other centerpieces you've already made. So anytime you do a U move, you have to make sure that the unsolved cross edge is on top. Anytime you do an F move, you have to bring this down. So when you do an F move, you don't break that. So that does take a while to get used to, but once you do get it, it is fairly easy to remember. So right away, I see that we can pair up this red bar with this red bar. Now I can't just do an F prime to get it up, because I'd be breaking the center. So what I do is I do an L move, then my F prime, then I can bring that up there without damaging the centerpiece. So now that red is in front, white is on my left, yellow is on my right, I know that green has to be next if I'm solving the one in front of me. So I can just do, here is just a good time to do one piece at a time. So I'll just bring this up. Then I can swing it down. So I can just, if I were to just do this like normal, I broke the center. That just put in a random centerpiece that I don't really need to worry about. It broke the color scheme. So what I can do, there's 2 things I can do. One, turn the inner layers like that, or I can turn the left side down so that piece is not solved. This cross edge is not solved, and then I can do wide L prime U2 wide L. Okay, so next is the last 2 centers, which you should already know. So I'm just gonna pair this up. Haven't damaged that. Then I can just bring that up. Just like so. This next step is a fairly easy one. You just have to build the last cross centerpiece. So it's both right here. I'll just do a hedge, do beginner's pairing up move, and then just insert it. Once you've inserted it, you can just solve the down layer. The first thing we're going to do when we finish solving our cross is to just make a slice to the left with the inner two layers, a UW. So after you do that, look at this piece right here, and you have to notice what colors it is. So I see it is yellow and blue. The reason you look at what color it is because you have to pay attention what it is when you slice back. So when I slice back here, if I insert this other yellow and blue piece, it'll be solved. And why only do that once when we can do it another 3 times to get 3 edges solved? So I inserted this yellow and blue piece, and I see yellow and green is on top, and that's going to go right here when I slice back. So our goal is to get the other yellow and green piece right there. So I'm looking around, and I find it in the back. So I'm just going to take it out and put it in. One more time. So this blue and orange right there, I'll put it in. So now when I do the slice back, that's 3 edges solved. So now that you've done that 3 slice, what we're going to do is try to get as many other edges paired up at once as we can. So what I'm going to do is I see green and red right here, so I'm going to put the other green and red right there in the bottom right, so that when we slice, it matches them up. Before we do that, I'm going to pay attention to what color this is. So it's yellow and orange, so I'll keep that in mind. Slice over, and here's the other yellow and orange. So when I insert this and slice back, it has solved 2 edges, which is perfect. So the next one is green and orange. I'll insert that right there and slice. But before I do, I check what color it is. Yellow and red. So when I insert this yellow and red piece, it has to go right there so that when I slice back, that is paired up with that. And there we go. And now I'm just going to go over one more edge case that you may get at the end. So you may get unlucky at the end and get 2 edges left. This is I guess kind of an edge parity, but it is very easy to solve. It is kind of intuitive. So what we're going to do, so we have to pay attention to the orientation of the colors. So yellow, red, red, blue, yellow, red. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is make it so that the colors that need to be put together are across from each other, but not diagonally like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the edge like this. R, U, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R. So now you notice that these colors are the same. Yellow, red, blue, red. So now I just went over the algorithm you're going to need. But before we do that flipping algorithm, we're going to do a slice either to the left or to the right. Or if we do it to the left, or I usually do it to the right, because then I can do the flipping algorithm on the right. If I do it to the left, I have to do the flipping algorithm on the left, which might be better for left-handed solvers. So like I said, I slice to the right, because I want to do the algorithm on the right. Do the flipping algorithm. R, U, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R. Then just slice back and all your edges are solved. So this is the last and final step. You're going to solve it like a 3x3. Now since the first thing we did was, one of the first things to do was build a cross, when you're done edges, you can immediately look ahead to F2L. So I can solve the F2L. No parity. And just like that, you've solved a 4x4. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial on how to solve a 4x4 using the Yao method. I think it is a really good method and it'll really help out your times. At first, your times will drop a little, but in the long run, it's going to make them faster. It got me sub 1 on 4x4. It is alright if you're confused, because most people are when learning a new method. I'm going to have some walkthrough solves coming up in the future. And if you have any comments, or any questions, just ask me in the comments down below and I will be happy to answer them. I'll see you in my next video, guys.